You touched upon something I wanted to ask you was working with Ezra. So when did you first meet him? How did you first, get involved with him in terms of rap and that kind of thing?
Ezra is a crazy story. Basically, like my crew is me and Paradox. We haven't really done much material over the last couple of years because we've been moving apart and I've been moving around a lot. And now I'm in Manchester and he's in London. We're actually in Brazil right now for the next 3 months. So we're like kind of shooting around doing our own thing for the last couple of years. But I was making music with him. And the Rhino Dialect album was
just clarify, you've been working with Paradox for much longer than you've known Ezra, is that correct?
Oh yeah, for much longer than I know Ezra. Like I've known Ezra for about probably 3 years.
Okay.
Roughly. So yeah, basically, and Paradox is from an area where Ezra, his group is Rhino Dialect, and their group was like more involved in another sort of town near mine, because we're both from small towns basically. Like, I'm a country boy, you know what I mean? Like, ain't down with none of this like urban shit and city, But like so he knew Ezra, and he got a copy of the Vinyl Dialect album that hadn't come out yet, and so I listened to it. And on like one of our internet forums, I typed my opinion, and I was feeling it, but like I had my criticism, and I said to him, I was like, I didn't like this, blah blah blah. And when I got back to Ezra, and then like a couple of his friends, who I now know, I didn't know at the time, but so like still came back to me through Paradox saying, next time you're in the same venue, he's gonna call you out for battle for you said and I was just like, right, okay. And because Ezra's well-known freestyle, I mean, like he's just, the dude's like pretty fucking ill, man, on a national level. And like he's been doing it for a minute, and so I was like, shit. It wasn't like I'm scared or whatever, like, cause you know what I mean, but it's just like, great. So yeah, that day came basically. It was a Vinyl Dialect concert, and at this venue, I always did the interviews after for my website, and so I was going to do an interview with Vinyl Dialect. And through the whole performance of the show, I was like looking at him like, he calling me out now, you know what I mean, like, just anticipating it. But yeah, he did it, and after I got to him, I'm like, right, I introduced myself, and he was like, yeah, I know you don't listen to what people are saying, and just wind up merchants. So I basically met Ezra through supposedly having beef with them or whatever on that level, but
an antithetical approach there, something kind of
exactly. So it's a bit crazy, right? So yeah, so then we just like sat, did the interview, talked for 2 hours, and then we started a split, which is a cypher session in a switch, and just like, I mean, just did that, and so like now it's kind of like, I think Ezra's always shown a lot of faith in me, especially in freestyle time and switch. I didn't really latch on, and he was like, I mean, even in the first early days, he said that I had like a lot of potential to be one of like the top freestylers. I never really latched onto that, but that was always a huge compliment from me. So you know what I mean, so yeah, that's basically the story of how I met Ezra, and probably like effectively battled as a pair. It wasn't in the same kind of formula where you'd see us doing 4 bars. It was at a festival in Ipswich. There was basically, you have 2 tents. You have like the urban tent, which is urban music. Like, I mean, they kind of refer that as a tent kind of term over here for like hip hop, grime, R&B. You know what I mean?
It's just a encompassing term.
Yeah, basically, there's a lot of grime on at this event, and behind like the urban tent, there'd always be ciphers. And I mean, they go crazy. Like grime, the thing I love about grime, there's a lot of things I dislike about it, but the thing I love about it is the passion and like the hunger of these MCs. They just want to get on at any opportunity, which sometimes causes a lot of animosity. But there's about 50 people out in the circle, all like grime MCs, and some people just watching. Big, huge like circle of people just in this park, and 2 guys were going, just battling, and me and Ezra just standing there listening to it, and like, this guy obviously sort of like beat this dude, and sort of like pumped his chest out and goes, okay, who's next? You know what I mean? Who next? Who wants someone? You know what I mean? So Ezra, and I know how you know what I mean, people who watch Jump Off will know, it looks like, he doesn't look like you wouldn't expect him to be an MC, you know what I mean? You wouldn't expect him to be an MC. He wears like shirts and that, and this is the summer, we was just chilling there, you know what I mean? And like, so he was just like, yeah, me, like blunt, just see what I mean, he puts his hand up, and this guy's just like, what? So so he goes in, yeah, and they do a couple of back and forths. I couldn't really hear it because I was quite far back, and I was like 3 rows back, and I was trying to listen in that, so I couldn't even say what it said in that. But then this girl comes in on this other guy's behalf. Like, she comes in, and apparently she'd won some competition in it, so I guess her ego was quite high, and like, apparently that's kind of her thing. Like, I mean, she's quite upfront if you want to say that. And so she starts battling. She's this white girl, and keeps going. She starts going at Ezra. So Ezra's like, she finishes the verse, and everything like, Ezra like, okay, you brought someone in, let me bring someone in. I'm like looking away, like I'm not even like paying attention. I've kind of lost those, like, I can't hit. And then this hand just comes out and pulls me through the crowd, and it's like Ezra just pulls me through the crowd, and I'm like, here we go. So like, yeah, this girl starts coming at us. She was right, and she was talking like Slim Shady jokes and shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like whatever. And so Ezra went back at her. The boy come back at us or something, and then the girl came at me or something. And so I went at her, and I just did it real, like, they were kind of simple sexist lines or whatever, you know what I mean? And I just tried to deliver it loud and clear, and I got like, I just stopped every 2 bars, because it's kind of set up, punch, people cheer, set up, punch, people cheer. And so I'm like, I finished my verse, I'm like, Julie, you know what I mean? Like, I'm feeling like, yeah, okay, yeah, that's like a little like an arrogant thing. I'm like, alright, cool. What's next? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and then this girl starts coming back at us, and then Ezra goes at her, and like, I'm looking down at my feet, because she's just finished her verse, and it's basically my turn. I'm looking down at my feet, and as I look up to sort of like start rhyming, all of a sudden this beer just splashes in our face, and the whole crowd just moves back in a massive circle, and this girl's like talking about who she's gonna stab and stuff, and like she said something to Ezra, and Ezra would come back with just like a cheeky remark or whatever, just been like, yeah, whatever. All of a sudden, I was like standing in a circle, some 5'2" girl was threatening to stab me, and like beer just been thrown in my face, and like, I was just like, oh boy, it was just a kind of like surprise, and I was just like, oh dear. So yeah.
That was
Yeah, man, exactly. So we just sort of kind of left in like the chaos or whatever. It was just sort of like, it was sort of slided out, and Ezra rang me later, we'd gone like separate ways just to sort of like get out of the area for a little bit and let it chill.
it's really easier to track someone down if you kind of split up.
Exactly.